Welcome back, super friends. Today we are going to focus on adding and subtracting decimal numbers. All you'll need for today is your math notebook or folder, a pencil to write with, and don't forget that super brain of yours. Stay tuned for the video. All right, super friends, we are going to practice our adding and subtracting decimals. We are not going to estimate this time. We did that before. This time we're going to go straight through with adding and subtracting. We will always start with our lowest place value, just like how we would do when we were adding whole numbers without decimals. We would start with our ones place and then go on to the tens and the hundreds and the thousands and the 10,000s and the 100,000s, etc. Now we're going to start with our lowest place value. So in this case, our lowest place value is going to be the hundredths place. Hundredths. Then this is the tenths. Then this is our decimal. This is the ones, tens, hundreds. So that's what we're doing. I think it's easier if we make lines through our place values. So you will see me make a line, and I always put my decimal at the bottom. That way I don't get confused about where I am. And right now we are adding. So since we are adding, we are going to start with our hundredths place value because it is the smallest. And I know 2 plus 5 is 7. So I will put my 7 down here. Then I move over. There's no regrouping necessary for this place value. So let's go to the next place value, the tenths place. 2 plus 7 is 9. So I put my 9 there in that same place value at the bottom. Again, my decimal will go on the same line where the other decimals are. And I put it there before, but I'll put it again bigger. Now in my ones place, I have 5 plus 1. That is going to be 6. That 6 goes in the ones place. My tens place, I have 2 plus 3. That is going to be 5. That goes in my tens place. And then for my hundreds place, it's just going to be 6 plus 0. So that's going to be 6. So my answer is going to be 656 and 97 hundredths. This will be my option. This is the one I want. So that's how we do this. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so for the next one, we're adding again. This time we don't go as big as the hundreds place right now, or actually we might if we are regrouping. So maybe I won't speak too quickly. I'll go ahead and line off my place values. Remember, I like to put my decimal point where the decimal point is, and then we'll go here. So in my hundredths place, I have 6 plus 7. That is going to be 13. I put the 3 down in the hundredths place, and then I regroup the 1 from the 10 in the tenths place. So now in the tenths place, I have 1 plus 1, which is 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. I put my 0 from the ones place there in the tenths place, and then I regroup my 1 in the tens place to the ones place. I'm just saying what I normally do. I'm just regrouping like I normally would. So in the ones place, I have 1 plus 9, that's 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. Put my 3 down here, regroup my 1 in the tens place, and then we move on like usual. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. I put my 1 here. I regroup this to the next place value, which is going to be the hundreds place. Then I have 1 plus 0 plus 0. That is 1. So now in my hundreds place, I have a 1 here. So now my answer is 113 and 3 hundredths. 113 and 3 hundredths. This is my option. In this problem, we are going to subtract. So again, we always start with our smallest place value. Let me go ahead and make my chart. Don't forget my decimal. And then I will also label them just so that my head doesn't hurt. This is the 100ths place. This is the 10ths place. This is my decimal. This is my ones place. This is my tens place. Okay, now starting with my smallest, which is the 100ths place. 7 minus 8. Can I do that? Nope, I cannot. So I need to borrow and regroup. Let me borrow. I'm going to borrow from the 8 in the 10ths place. That 8 now turns to a 7. This 7 in the 100ths place now turns to a 17. 17 minus 8. That is going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's going to be 9. So now I have 9 here. Now moving back, I'm done with my 100ths place. Now moving to my 10ths place, I have 7 minus 9. Is that allowed? No, it is not. So I have to borrow again. Borrow from the 5. That 5 in the ones place turns to a 4. Now the 7 in the 10ths place has a 1 in front of it, so now that's a 17. So 17 minus 9, oh, we just did that. That's going to be 8. So the answer down here is 8. Let's move over to the ones place. 4 minus 8, is that allowed? No, it is not. I have to borrow and regroup again. Borrow from the tens place. That now turns to a 2. Now this 4 in the ones place is now a 14. So 14 minus 8, that is going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 6. 6 goes here. And then we have in the tens place 2 minus 2, that's 0. I don't need to put the 0 there. If you want to put the 0 there, you can, but 2 minus 2 is nothing. I don't need anything there. So our answer here is our 6 and 89 hundredths. 6 and 89 hundredths. That would be our answer. Okay, this one we are going to subtract again as well. Let me go ahead and make my chart. Again, my hundredths place, my tenths place, my ones place, my tens place, and my decimal down here. All right, 6 minus 5 is 1. 1 minus 7, I cannot do that, so let me borrow from the ones place. That 1 turns to a 0, and this 1 turns into an 11. So now 11 minus 7 in the tenths place. That is going to be a 4. Now let's move over to the ones place. 0 minus 8, I cannot do that. I need to borrow again. Borrow from the tens place. That 2 turns to a 1. And then this 0 over here turns to a 10 because I borrowed. So now 10 minus 8, that is going to be 2. 2 goes in the ones place down there in the answer. And then lastly, my tens place has 1 minus nothing, which is 1, because 1 minus nothing equals 1. And our answer here is 12 and 41 hundredths. 12 and 41 hundredths.